We finally made it up to Northern Ireland.
After a 5-ish hour drive, we are here in the afternoon and we're gonna go by Giant's Causeway.
Giant's Causeway, we think, is just this coastal area. We always see it defined by the hexagonal rocks, so we're headed down the hill to check it out now. We made it!
Obviously there's a very scientific reason for these columns, but I like the folktale, which involves giants building a bridge over to Scotland and crossing back and forth. Much cooler.
I think the science explanation is around like molten lava and the forming and the way it's cooled down, but they have all of these pillars. We saw them in Iceland. They have these hexagonal shapes and they scattered this entire field. Not only is it cool to see the rocks down here, but even the environment. I think the Causeway is like this whole park area, and the cliffs and the sunset that we have are amazing. I think this is a great place to call it a first successful day in Northern Ireland. We'll see you tomorrow.
While the guys golf today, we are going to explore some of these coastal towns in Northern Ireland. And I can't remember if we mentioned it already, but we are in a new country. Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. So 2 countries on this trip.
While Rebecca and the other ladies are staying back and exploring the town, we came out to play some golf, losing stuff. It is super windy, most wind we've ever seen, but I think we're the only ones out here. It's gonna be a fun round. Although it's windy, this is probably the nicest weather we have had in all of Ireland. And this course is just beautiful. I mean, we're not good golfers, but we like to play. And when you're in Ireland, I feel like you have to. The clubs are getting
All right, we decided to come down to the coast. As you can see and probably hear, it's very windy, but we're gonna check out this really cool castle over here that's just on the cliffside. Check out the views, and there's a full rainbow in front of us. It's so pretty.
We decided to visit Dunluce Castle, and this is probably the best one yet, ironically. There's so many views, and this is a few that we get to actually walk into, and so it's really nice to see each and every room and just like, look at this. Can't get any better than that.
All right, we're on the back 9 now. I came into the cart because I'm not sure if you can hear anything I've said with the wind, but now we're on the holes that kind of go right by the water, so it's really cool to have some extra scenery here. It's just a beautiful course, even despite the weather here. We're having a really good time. This is pretty much my view and walk the whole time because the fairways are only like 20 yards wide. They're super narrow and there's so much wind. It's impossible to keep it straight. So I'm playing a lot out of the rough. finally reunited.
After a great day, we made it to the Bushmills Distillery, so now we're gonna go ahead and take a tour.
I know we're probably going to learn more about this, but supposedly Bushmills is the oldest distillery in the world. They asked that you not film inside the buildings during the tour, so we'll have to give you some facts afterwards.
This tour ends in the tasting room, so you can get some free tastings. Today we came and it was partially closed. We didn't get to see the bottling, but because of that they gave us extra drink tickets. If you don't like whiskey straight up, they also have cocktails that you can get. So we're about to get a Cosmo and a hot toddy.
Oh yeah, definitely some oaky notes, I would say. It smells like whiskey.
Kelly, try.
Kelly, how you feeling?
This is terrible. I mean, it's good, but it's terrible.
Kelly's got to do the whiskey tasting and then chase it with her Cosmo.
All right, looks like we've closed down Bushmills, which I think is a good indication of a fun time.
It was awesome to have the tastings. There were 3 different options, and then the cocktails were really good too. So I would do that probably. I don't think I'm the biggest whiskey person, so cocktails are the way to go for me.
I think we're gonna close out our night there probably, and tonight we're just gonna grab a bite, maybe check out another pub, and then we'll catch you back in the morning.
Good morning, it is a beautiful day. The sun is out, there's no clouds in the sky, still windy, but we are on our way back down to the Republic of Ireland today with a few stops along the way.
All right, so apparently you can't drive down the Dark Hedges anymore, but that's where our next stop is, and there's parking nearby.
We are excited. This has been on the Game of Thrones. I'm sure it wasn't popular before that show, but it looks like a really cool road, and it's just kind of reflective of Ireland. It seems very moody over there and just looks really cool.
We're gonna go for a little bit of a walk. All right, we made it. Looks just like it does on Game of Thrones pretty much. The trees are bare. I don't know what they look like in the show, but yeah, it's still interesting. We're not like huge Game of Thrones fans or anything. We're really just here because we thought it looked cool, and it definitely does.
Well, if you want a picture by yourself, highly recommend coming early as soon as the sun comes up, because it's only 9:30, but there are a ton of people here already. I think it looks really cool. Not everyone in our group is super excited, but it's so beautiful seeing all the trees just like cross over behind us. Amazing.
Although technically not in Northern Ireland, on our way back to Dublin, we went to our last stop of Bru Na Boinne. Unfortunately, our audio wasn't working at the beginning, so I'll try to briefly summarize for you here. The Bru Na Boinne archaeological site is older than the pyramids, so it has a lot of history, and you get to actually go through the museum and then check out the site itself, and thankfully our mic started working again.
So our tour today took us to the Newgrange mound, and these are passage tombs. So they are tombs where they buried people back in the early days.
These sites are super old, and we didn't even know they were here. They were built in 3200 BC. That's before the Mayan pyramids, before the pyramids of Giza. One of the oldest known structures that we have on this world.
So that makes these tombs over 5,000 years old, and they said there are 40 different structures around here. This isn't the biggest one that they have, but this is the one we're going to be visiting, and they come all the way back from the New Stone Age era. Once you go inside, they do a recreation where they turn off all the lights and use a light bulb to simulate what it would look like on the winter solstice. The time that the light shines in the chamber is actually only 17 minutes.
All right, well, after getting to see the inside of the chamber, we're gonna head out from the Bru Na Boinne site now.
And we're on our way back to Dublin, where we are going to wrap up the rest of our trip.